Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another Darachat. I know it's been a while, right? It's been a weekend, but hey, you know what? I'm here with the. You're still muted. Yeah. Hi, Ken. Oh,
Little studio might need a little work. Just saying. Saying it might need a little work.
when you forget to turn your mic, and I was like, it's like I can't understand what you're saying. What's going on here? Hey everyone, how's it going? And you're just sitting there trying to tell a story, and it's 5 minutes in. It's like no one's heard your story. I'm like,
I just told my entire life story. People are going, "What did he say? What did he say?" Oh, Lord.
well, thank you for coming on, Mr. Mullis, Mike Mullis. We should just like the
I
James
was gonna
Bond sort
say,
of thing.
don't call me Mister. It's just my dad's name.
yeah,
Is that what we always used to say?
I've heard that one before. Then you have like your
Uh-huh.
senior and junior sort of thing. It's like okay, all right, all right. Then you're gonna start telling me a bunch of dad jokes. I'm like, oh, this is not gonna go well.
No.
That'd be interesting. Go all night just telling dad jokes. Like, is this really what the show's about? Is dad jokes? just call him.
Why
Just call
not?
him. Oh, just call him Mike. I will. No,
Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Luke.
because then we could say he's like Mike. There you go. See, throw a little
Right,
Michael
everybody
Jordan
wants
in
to be
there.
like Mike.
Everyone wants to be like Mike. There was a movie called Like Mike, and there was a special pair of
There
tennis
was.
shoes. Somebody got to run in them, and it's just like, and it wasn't until the end of the movie though that the shoes suddenly ran out of magic, and he couldn't do that. So it was like, oh, so they're not magic
And then
shoes.
he couldn't dunk anymore.
Yeah, he couldn't. He could do Dunkaroos, but that was about as good as his dunking skills would be.
All right. Well,
Oh,
we have gone off the rails already.
that's what we're
This is
about
what
today. We're going off the rails, but yeah, but
this
thank
is
you for
what
coming.
happens.
That's right. We're all about going wherever the wind blows, and thankfully, the weather has gotten a little nicer outside. It's still warm,
Yeah.
but it's not as hot and humid as it was before. Ugh.
It was
I
about
went out.
10 degrees lower. Why? Okay, hold on. Because I feel like, give me a second.
Yes.
I don't know what this camera situation is, but there we go. Now I feel better.
You are now.
Like I'm over here like towering over you like I'm 7 foot tall, and you're like all we see is your head. So I had to come down a little bit.
What was that? It's like the Kilroy thing. It's like, can you see me now? No, well, it's the way of I've positioned it. So my mic is I just got this mic a while ago, and it was on Amazon for like a better price because this camera's like it's a
How am I
Logitech
gonna do
Brio
this?
500.
I can't be a midget. I'm sorry. All right, here we go.
You can't be a
I'm
midget
sorry.
and
I'm going to have to be taller than you a little bit. I can't. It's just freaking me out. Because now I'm typing. My keyboard is like this. I'm typing like this now because I'm on.
I can't believe you're taking over again. It's like you said, it's gonna be nothing but dad jokes tonight. So, but no, no, my camera is a Logitech, and I bought it for a pretty good deal off Amazon, and so it kind of does a bigger view of my room. So I can in the controls I can kind of tamper that down because I don't need you seeing everything. Right? There's a messy closet over there. There's trash can over here. Sooner or later, it's gonna be like, is that a dirty sock or underwear on the floor? It's like, nope, ouch, everybody out. I think I see a dead mouse over there. Hey, where's that? Oh, you got. Oh goodness, but
All
no,
right. What? So remind me. First off,
yes,
I love the Sword in the Stone intro.
yes,
One of my favorite Disney movies back when Disney was actually Disney.
yeah. Back when it was worth something.
Yes. Yes. Back when Walt was alive.
Was he alive during that? I don't know if he was alive during
Sword
and
and Stone, absolutely he was.
Okay, I know. I think it was Jungle Book, right? Was Jungle Book his last one? Because he was it was like 70 something when he passed, but I know he was still alive for at least one of those Disney movies. I just can't remember.
I can't remember when Roy took over.
Yeah, because that's family right there, right? So because the story
Yes.
is I know is that Disney was sort of the entertainment man, and Roy was sort of the business guy taking care of the business stuff.
Correct.
And Disney wasn't,
And now they're both rolling over in their graves.
Well, that and the what was it? The other Roy Disney, right? that was a part of Disney for quite some time. I don't know what part of that family, but I know he's a Disney.
Yeah, there was one more, but yeah.
So, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like I see a lot of content creators who go out to say, oh, it's dead or whatever, and I'm just like, guys, if it's dead, can you stop treating it like it's alive for once? Can you just put it in the ground and bury it? Just leave it alone,
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because I see a lot, especially now with Star Wars. Like there's this whole thing on Star Wars and the Acolyte and whatnot. Sorry, I'm gonna just because I feel like there we go. Okay, this whole thing with like and people are fighting with each other and there's the whole Star Wars theory guy and I'm like, you know what? Just here's what you do.
Yeah.
Just stop watching it. Just stop watching it. It'll take care of itself if you do that. Just stop watching.
Well, and the thing of it is, right, the problem of all this stuff, right, and I say Star Wars is dead too, is that those content creators have painted themselves in a corner because they can't not talk about it because it's part of their job. They've made this a full-time business, and we tend to forget, if you make something a full-time business that's very roller coaster-ish, like content creation, you paint yourself in a corner where you have to talk about it. Oh, I'm not going to talk about it. Well, you're still talking about it. You still claim it, and then they go and say it's dead. Okay, well, you're treating it like it's alive. At this point, it's either Weekend at Bernie's or necrophilia, because at this point they just can't let it go. They just can't let it go. I know this.
Well, it's the same.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm glad. But so that goes the same with. And unfortunately, this is the good thing about Rumble. All right, on YouTube, this is where people hitch their wagons in the gaming sphere too.
Yeah.
There is a ton of gaming drama, and a lot of it revolves as much around what shiny plastic box you like. And that shiny plastic box can do no wrong. And that shiny plastic box has all the games that you want, and any game out for the other plastic shiny box is horrible. And any game out for your plastic shiny box is the best. But there are people that have hitched themselves to, say, Xbox, say PlayStation, that are so invested in it that anything that the competition does, they can't talk about the good of gaming or even the bad gaming. Right? They can't talk about it from generality. They have to talk about it as if their sports team is winning. It's basically what it is. It comes down to that. And so, the movie drama is the same way, the gaming drama is the same way, and that is, again, one of the things that coming from YouTube to Rumble for this past year has been such a welcome change in that. And let me turn my light down too, because I look like I am a pasty ghost.
Oh gosh, I didn't know you were there.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
You got a real suntan.
I've got the best face. Let me turn this down. That is Trump level orange right there.
Oh man.
All right, let me go. All right. Okay. Now I look like a human. Okay. You coming here, people just want to play games, and I mean, I can talk about our podcast, whenever you want, but even beyond that, we do so much game playing that we just play what's out there.
Yeah.
And
I like to bring up this with Galaxy Red, not that one. It was this one. When he says it's mostly because a lot of people are passionate about these properties and they want to critique it. That's okay. But there's an issue, right? These content creators, their business, and it's a business, relies on the money they get from it, right? So they have to talk about, this is the YouTube algorithm, and the more they talk about it, the more they generate so when does it become from passion to payment? Which is it? Is it still passion? If they made zero money whatsoever, is it still passion? Or is it more about the payment? And I'll tell you, content creator I heard that I followed would say, because they were, using Rumble for a while and then they stopped, is that YouTube is where the bread gets buttered. While it's true, it still shows. That's the thing. And yeah, I get that.
And that's unfortunate.
I get that.
And that is unfortunate.
Yeah. And I get that, Galaxy Red, but still the thing is, which is it? Is it about payment or is it about the passion? Because those two things can be confused with each other, or in two degrees.
Well, I'll tell it's very easy to see. Look who are the people that get demonetized over it and what they complain about. Do they complain because they got demonetized, or do they come back and say, I don't care if you've demonetized this content, I'm going to speak my heart. You don't even see much of that anymore. If somebody gets demonetized, and that's what they concentrate on, that's when it's more about the payment. Yeah,
because what happens again, YouTube has its own issues, right? People have to, when something happens on a demonetized or banned or whatever, they have to go to another website to get YouTube support's attention to get something done. Now, of course, the same things happen to Rumble, so Rumble's not free from that. But at the end of the day, right, YouTube is not great enough that they can do it with their own website. Someone has to go somewhere else to get their attention to say, hey, your crap is messing our stuff up. You're demonetizing us, all this stuff. At the end of the day, though, it's like there are content creators that made a business out of it. And guess what? That's why multi-platform, because if you put yourself to one platform, they control you. Right?
Yeah.
If you're just on YouTube controls you.
Well, and Squishy just said something. He said demonetizing also throttles views. I saw this the other day, and it was from Team YouTube. Now your sub count can throttle your views. That was never a thing. If you are under 1,000 subs, they can throttle the amount of live viewers you have. In the name of creating a safe community. And I want to remind people, YouTube is the same platform that allows other content creators to not only attack people, but attack their kids. And YouTube does nothing about it. One of the reasons that I left YouTube was because, as with anything, look, if you are on social media or you are a content creator of some sort,
yes,
you are going to get people that don't like you. That comes with the territory, right? It's even starting to happen here on Rumble. A little bit that I've had to deal with, and lately, and it's like baby stuff. It's like, people coming on and making, accounts to follow my channel with stupid names and what, and, okay, fine. If that's the best you got, nothing. Do me a favor, Google my name, search for my name in YouTube. Trust me, what you're doing to me now is baby stuff. Yeah. But the problem is that, if you come after me, I don't care. You don't like the video games I'm playing. You want to, if you want me to live rent free in your head and you just want to keep making content about me, that's fine. People have made content about my kids. And I've gone to YouTube and I have showed it to them. And I've been like, they don't have permission to do this. There's no fair use that says you're allowed to use my, 9 and 14-year-old son for your bullshit. Yeah. And YouTube's like, sure they can. So, at that point, it was time for a change. Yeah. And that's, they offer no protection. And I see now content creator after content creator with their videos getting demonetized, with their channels getting demonetized over opinions that they have. This is the same platform too, by the way, that during COVID, if you did not spew the COVID line, they kicked you off. That's what happened to Dan Bongino. This is why Dan Bongino is on YouTube. Or on Rumble. like him or not, that is why Steven Crowder is on Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big Steven Crowder fan anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a reason that he's on Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Bongino I like a lot, and actually my family knew him when he was in Maryland.
Oh.
He's a great guy. Well, he was a Secret Service agent, so he lived in Maryland.
Okay.
He actually ran for, well, yeah, he was a Secret Service agent during the Obama years. So, I mean, he had to protect a president he didn't like, but he did his job. And
Right.
and in Maryland, I believe he ran for Senate.
Mm-hmm.
And he lost, but he ran and my parents, my mother used to be the treasurer of the president rather of the Republican Women's Club here in
Right.
my area. And so they did events, they brought him to our county and did events. So we've known Dan Bongino, and when he went to Rumble, he blew up. And he
Yeah.
blew up because he's allowed to say the things that he wants to say without the platform impugning him.
Yeah.
And YouTube not only doesn't allow you that, but again, they'll let somebody use your kids for their content. So
yeah, or anything family related to that being, or your home or whatever. Like your place could be put on the. Well, I mean, technically, your address is public information, but sorry, people, but they can pinpoint to your place and start a harassment campaign. There is, of course, you've heard the stories of people getting swatted. There is no safety net for this stuff. If you are doing content creation, like myself and you are taking a risk, and that risk means that you could be subject to a whole host of things that could get you killed, because that's the bottom line of what these people want. Is they don't, whatever the reason may be, whatever their little reason here is, they can get you killed for a reason, and that's just a waste of life right there. It's just a waste of life because these people have more power because they can make a call to some state you're in, and all that stuff, and yeah, I just yeah, I don't know. I stream to both YouTube and Rumble because I multi-platform myself, because again, I'm not a after seeing what can happen to one platform, of course, the stuff that happened earlier today with Rumble being down and out, there's an inference of where having multiple platforms can be a benefit. It's just depending on the risk you're willing to take, and I get that. I mean,
absolutely.
do what is best for you. Always, 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 always. As a content creator, you the individual content creator, forgoing anyone else telling you, do what is best for you, because only you will know what's best for you. You can look up all the tips and tricks. You can look up all these different content creators and what they do. At the end of the day, though, content creation is about what you want to make, what you want to show, what you want to do. I use Canva to make my thumbnails, and those are pretty basic, right? You've seen the thumbnail. It's pretty basic. I use Opus.pro to make my shorts, because obviously because it's a helpful tool. It does 90% of the work, and I'm doing 10%, which is the editing stuff. And I use different tools for my benefit. I don't really know how do I get 1,000 people watching, whatever. I'm just here doing this thing which I deem most important, because I didn't really see it coming from other creators, or at least I didn't see the creators that were doing it. I just saw a lot of creators who were just like stuck in this mindset of complain, complain, and complain. Don't change. Don't do something that will get past that. Complain, complain, complain. Now some of them are doing, the thing that's going past that, but still, it's like you're giving Hollywood attention. You're giving Hollywood money. You're giving video game companies all this stuff. You're giving them time, attention, and money. And it's like, when do we just walk away and go do something else? It's just, I don't get it. I don't get it anymore. I'll play the game I like to play. I'll watch the movie I like to watch. After that, that's it. No?
Well, okay, so
Nice.
I would say that the thing that I have liked the most about being here is that is exactly the mindset that I have.
Right.
So when I was in YouTube, Yeah, I did some streams here and there, some game streams, but it was mostly our Tuesday night podcast.
Right.
When I got here, I did a little more streaming. And I realized that what people want on Rumble's platform is they want good people, they want gameplay. They want to hang out with people who are playing games and doing the things that they're doing. Now, we went from one dedicated show a week with maybe a stream here and there to now 5 days a week, sometimes more.
Wow.
So, and the way it happened was I started streaming on, Thursdays, right? So we were doing Tuesdays, and then I'd stream on Thursdays. And Peter and I, HTK, my channel partner, and I, we used to do once in a while. We do a Friday night with Peter and Mike. We do our multiplayer thing.
Nice.
We brought that over to Rumble from YouTube and started that back up. And then I'm on. So you've got Nick. You got Geekstorian coming on soon. One of my really good friends here, who I've met, I've broken bread with. I have, I talk to off, stream. I stream with him every other Monday on his channel, a great show called Retro Roots.
Right.
The Mondays that I am not doing that, like after this, I'm going to go over to the other side of my room and I'm going to fire up the OG Xbox and we're going to play some, and we're going to do a retro stream. I do a retro stream every other Monday.
Nice.
So all of a sudden there's 1, 2, 3, 4 days there. 3, sometimes 4. Then Peter, about, 3 months ago, said, we're not doing anything on Wednesdays. How about I pick that day up? And so, and just recently, I became an Antstream, partner streamer for Antstream Arcade. So the regular stream I was doing on Thursday, I've turned into Thursday night at the arcade. That started last week. And I've moved what I was doing on Thursday to Sundays. So now I've got, so this week alone, we're going to be on Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. Hey, Big Z, how you doing? It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Peter, Thursday night, Friday night, and Sunday night. That's just this week. So streaming has become fun again. I've got a dedicated family of people, and I call them my family. I always call them family because, I don't believe in an audience. I'm not here to garner an audience. I don't want viewers, right? Big streamers get viewers. And you know what? They don't know a damn thing. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, but those big streamers that have, 20,000, 30,000 followers and subs and, hundreds of people in their chat all the time, tossing money at them all day long. That's all great. But I guarantee you, they don't know the people in their chat at all. They don't know them.
Right.
I'm not here to garner an audience. I'm here to foster a community. So if I only have 50 people watch a stream at one time, and I've got 30 of those people in chat, and it's the same 30 people, right? Galaxy, Luke. Big Z's been in my chat before. Global Gamer. Hey, what's up, GG? Right? Yeah. These guys, Back from the Dead, Geekstorian, all of these great people, Big Block Plymouth, that come into the chat every night and just hang.
Nice.
I get to talk to them, get to hang out with them. They get to watch me play games, sometimes badly. And not just that, sometimes we get to play, right? Planet Shan, Lumpy Potato, Scottish Viking Gaming.
Nice.
I've gamed with Vapin. I've gamed with Leewee Tony and Sergeant Wilkie and Dinosaur Gaming. We were playing up until Leewee got a little busy. We were playing Halo, going through the campaign, and as soon as he's ready, we're gonna get back to it. Right? We have done more gaming with people here than we've ever done. So this is about community. This is about fostering a community. This is about, I would rather 10 people in chat, but it's 10 friends that are hanging out and chatting. I'll take a low KD ratio in Fortnite. I'll get my ass kicked in Fortnite every match if it means I'm looking at the chat and I'm talking to my friends.
Yeah,
that's what that means, and that's what Next Level Gaming has always kind of been about since we came around.
Yeah,
Peter came in. Peter's been my friend. He's as close as I have to a brother without being related. Yeah, and he's been with me for 8 years on NLG. 8 years. He came in as somebody who was in my chat one day and then just wanted to do some streaming. I put together a stream team on YouTube back when we were streaming a lot. And I had 5 or 6 people. Those people eventually were on the show. They were, and we kept this tight-knit group. And Peter's been the one who's been with me this whole time. And we're going to probably both retire out of content creation, doing it together, playing on Friday nights, hanging out on Tuesday nights and talking games, and just enjoying what we're doing. And that's Rumble has made it fun for me again, where YouTube really wore me down with all that drama, with all the nonsense. But Rumble has reinvigorated my desire to do these things.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, for me, I mean, I just started recording videos using StreamYard, obviously. And then I did use OBS for a time. And then when the beta for this came out, I started using it, and I've been using it ever since, minus the hiccups, there are those things. But at the end of the day, though, I didn't think I would be here, right? I didn't think it'd be possible for me to even fill a month, let alone 3 months of just a wide variety of people. Now, I don't count the weekends because, those are more for like keeping for yourself, because I do have a full-time job. But to do 3 months of just having either same or different people on, and just going through people who, yes, big chunk of them are content creators, but they're still people down at heart, and they have a different perspective of all this stuff. So that's why I do this, because again, I didn't think I'd be here. I did the same thing, hey, UB Legend. I was doing movie reviews. Yeah, I was doing movie reviews. I did like little pre-recorded bits of like in the day or whatever, and then I did like gaming stuff, but it didn't really hit. It didn't really click, And then it was until it came to the conversational bit. It was just like once I hit that thing, I was like, that's the key. Because again, I look at all these content creators and they're stuck in their spheres. They're doing their thing, of course, a niche or whatever. You enjoy what you do, or chasing the algorithm, whichever it is. But I just didn't really see this thing of where you had people just sitting down and having a conversation, because now you have the whole political ordeal. You have all this other stuff. And it's just like, it's more arguing than anything else. And where's the conversation at? And that's why I do this, because I can go anywhere. I can go to anyone. I can go across all the boards, VTubers and whatnot. I can go across all the boards and I can bring people on. Most of the time you're bringing on people who are within your category you're going to or whatever, but I could pretty much go anywhere. And that's why I do this. It's nothing pounding on against anyone else. It's just, I am doing something that allows me to go beyond beyond than just being in a category. I mean, yeah, podcast, sure, okay, there's that. But I can go beyond. The conversation can go anywhere. I mean, just like we're half an hour, we're already talking about this stuff. So it's like we're already here. We're flying in the sky, and we're already here. But yeah,
Agreed.
it's been a fun time. But yeah, I still have to look. I don't like it, but I still have to look at the numbers thing because again, when you try to ask somebody to come on, they can just shrug you off because you don't have the things that they're looking for. Oh, they don't have the big numbers. They don't have this or whatever. I'm just like, you're missing out on something that's important though. You get these big creators that are almost millions of people, and if they had the thought of inviting at least one person on from that chat, one of their followers, right? At least vet them a little bit. You don't bring on a crazy one. You vet one of these people, you bring them on, and all of a sudden, you have this opportunity to talk to millions of people, but have them on one at a time. Majority of the people that have been in my chat, well, other than today, have been people who I've had on before. And it's like you're saying, building the community and stuff. I've built through having people on, and they come in the chat sometimes. Not all the times, obviously, but some of the time. And you would be surprised of how some things are similar and some things you disagree upon. It's just that it feels like it's a lost art at this point.
You can't be an echo chamber. That is definitely true. You can't, you can't be an echo chamber, and you have to also be able to respectfully take other people's opinions. So, and some of it is just fun.
Yeah.
There are people in the chat that I'll say something, they won't agree with everything I say, and I don't want them to.
Right.
I've had guests on with, Peter and I have had guests on that don't agree with us. And that's okay. There's times Peter and I don't agree on stuff, and that's okay. That's what we want, because if it was just the same old, then and everything is yep, then you don't listen, O'Houlihan.
Oh, this is not going to go well tonight. This is not going to.
You and Galaxy, the both of you.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
That's funny. I mean, like, Galaxy will say stuff in the chat, and sometimes we debate. He's one I can't wait to actually get on our show, because I think it'd be a great conversation. He doesn't think so, but I think he'd be a great guest to have. He'd be a great guest to have on here.
Yeah, I've tried, but he's going through some stuff, so it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
I've
a couple more weeks, we're gonna game.
Yeah,
together.
And the thing is, I've asked people. There'd be people I'd ask to come on and be like, "Oh, let me check your stuff," and never hear from them again, right? Or they kind of give me a so answer instead of just saying no. So it's sort of like I still have to go out there. I still have to ask people to come on. Like right now, I'm trying to fill up July. Hey, Phoenix, I'm trying to fill up July, and it's not going to be an easy thing, obviously. But the point of the matter is that I'm working towards having every month full of just different people or same people. It doesn't really matter if you've been on. I've had Jack Tarlett on for 7 times now. I've had a few people on for a few times. The point of the matter is that we could still come have a conversation and can go anywhere. At this point,
absolutely,
it's not that big of a deal. But I game on my off time, but because I've done this more and more, I've been gaming less because I can't. This has become more of an interest to me than sitting down and play Elden Ring. For instance, I can't with that game. I can't.
I'm sorry. A colonoscopy is better than playing Elden Ring.
No, I understand.
If Silver Fox around, don't let him know I said that.
I had him on once, and before I say Galaxy Red, I understand that. I've had lots of people on. I've had some people on that aren't talkers as well. But guess what? There's still something to talk about. Yeah, just whenever you're ready, just let me know. But don't wait forever, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. So Just whenever you're ready. But I did have Silver Fox on a while back. I also had Lumpy Potato on. I had Livatoni. I had Scottish Viking. I've had a lot of different people on that you've probably already had on. But with and the funny weird thing is those I Silver Fox doesn't, go into his DMs much to think. So it took me a while to get him. So, but the funny thing is he was following me and he's not following me anymore. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I guess. But yeah, my thing is like I'm trying to get, while having old people come back on, I'm trying to get new people, because we got to get past this point of the whole political entertainment, all this stuff sphere, all the arguing, all this stuff, and just sit down and have a conversation, because it gets ridiculous to the point where we're not even human anymore. We're just like, I'm right, you're wrong. My team's better than your team and all this stuff. And we're just like, why? Why does it have to be this way? And that's why I'd rather take a hammer to all the spheres and just, you're free now. You're free. Go, get out there. Be free. Fly, birds, fly. Fly, my piggies.
Well, and at the same time, you have to speak your mind. You have to, you have to be able to have your own opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes those opinions aren't with everybody.
Yeah. Trust
me, I've said things where an entire group of people have said, "The hell's wrong with you?" This is how I feel. And that's, again, this is a place that you can do that. Mm-hmm. And that's the power of this platform.
Yeah.
And also you have to be strong enough to be able to say something, mm-hmm. and then not worry about, well, did I upset? And that's been some of my some of my issue is, I try not to upset people too much. Mm-hmm. But I'm in my old age, less and less.
Get that out of here. I understand that, and I'm in the same. I still like, did I say something out of it? But the thing of it is, though, is that you have to understand is I'm not here to come at anyone, because unfortunately people will come and people will go, and that's just the nature of it. But the thing of it is when we can have this moment together, right? Because we'll never know if we'll come back to this again. At this moment in time, we get to have with each other. We get to sit down and we get to be like two human beings who see the world for as it is and say, can talk about how to move through it, or maybe go on to something else. It doesn't matter. The point of the factor is that we can sit down for this moment and actually be human beings instead of the all 24/7 newsreel. And it just feels like a lot of content creators become that nowadays, is just 24/7 newsreel. But that's just the point of view I have. But yeah, I've enjoyed this a lot, and I try to reach. I've reached to people across the Twitch. I've reached to people across the YouTube. I have a lot of space I can go to. Now, I know most people will try to stay within their site or whatever, but just imagine the possibilities. Like if I can reach 1 million, to have 1 million people on the show, done. That would be an amazement in its own right. Doesn't mean there'll be 1 million people following me. It just means that 1 million different people decided to take a chance and said, you know what? Why not? And then go from there. Not that it'll be easy, but what life is,
Right.
We need to have to cancel. So I have to stop him. No, guys. Let's take a breather. Take a breather. Let's not get too trigger happy over here. Oh, but I like when I have people on too. Is like, look, because I've streamed the YouTube side, right? Look, I'll give you 98% of the field. I'll give you 98% of the field. All I ask is about 2%, and that 2% is minuscule to like the 98% of that soccer field that you can play around in. You can do hopscotch in it. You can do your cartwheels. You can have a small garage band come out there and play some music, and it's like, yeah, woo, yeah, and you're the only one out there listening to them. But at the end of the day, this has been an enjoyable fun, and of course, this week is going to be filled with a whole bunch of different people, including yourself, and I really appreciate those willing to take the chance to come on. Because like with Luke, I had Luke on last week, and we had our tech issues, but we were able to make it work, and it was a great time. And I've had people that are like him. I've had Heck in the Y is more family orientated. I've had Chrono who's more family orientated. There's just once you start talking more and more people, you start seeing connections that can work to some degree, and you can bring those people together, or you can make opposite ends of it, or completely total just balls to the wall sort of thing where you're just like, I don't even know what the heck's going on here. It's like a circus over here, that sort of thing. It's like a circus in my chat. What the
I knew Galaxy was gonna do. Not my fault, man. The people have spoken.
I'm having a Rumble chat debate matter going on over here. I'm like, come on, guys. What are we really here for?
They're trying to cancel me. See, I can't even come on your show without people trying to cancel me, man.
They're trying to bring me down. Man. They're trying to bring me down.
Right, trying to stick the man on me. Like cancel for playing Xbox tonight. But hey, look, 2002 at this point is retro.
Yeah,
the OG Xbox at this point in time is on that teeter of retro.
Yeah, I remember when the red ring of death was the big thing back when the first Xbox was around. You're like,
yeah, that was the Xbox 360.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the original Xbox was a tank. Of course, it looks like a tank, but it was a tank.
Yeah. And then you throw it, and it acts like a tank too. So I can't lift it, guys. I can't lift it. Hey, Bulldozer.
How you doing, Bill?
Oh, that's the Bill. Wait a minute. I got it. There we go. There he is.
Yeah, the 360 is teeter. Oh, Big Z. Hang on, Big Z. Don't go anywhere.
Uh-oh.
I have a story about that.
Uh-oh. Hey, Kluche. He said, hold on, chat. Just so save your comments till it gets back. Hold
on. So hang on. So this is for Big Z Video Games. All right. Big Z Video Games brought up an incredible game series called Brothers in Arms.
Ooh.
So I have a story behind this game.
Mm-hmm.
There was and let me see if I can get his full name. There was a retired colonel, Colonel Antal, who was the he was the Army's, well, not the Army liaison. He was basically the historical liaison for this. He gave them maps. He gave them, kind of all kinds of information about the battles for. Yes, Colonel John Antal, U.S. Army retired. He was the military advisor and historian.
Wow.
So, flashback to, I think this was E3 2003 was the first game, and 2004 was the second one. I have to go and look on my old site. As a game journalist, I spent many years going to E3. And I remember distinctly the first time I saw Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30. And Gearbox was the developer, but Ubisoft was the publisher. This was before Gearbox went elsewhere.
Right.
And they had a really cool booth. One thing E3 had was extravagant booths.
Mm-hmm.
It had a really cool booth that was kind of like a bunker, and you went inside and you sat down and you got this demo from Colonel John Antal. And myself and my Nintendo writer, Sean, we talked to that guy for like a half hour after the presentation, because those kind of games really were just so incredible. And Road to Hill 30, as it says on the box, is based on a true story. This was the night before D-Day.
Mm.
And he was telling us about some of the historical pieces of it. So we had this great conversation. We see him, right? So next year rolls around. We go back to, we're back at E3 again. Ubisoft now is working on Earned in Blood.
Mm.
The coolest thing, there's some great moments that I have from my gaming journalism life. I mean, it's something else that, a part of my life that's where Next Level, that's why we're called the original Next Level Gaming. Next Level Gaming was my game website from 2000 to 2001 to 2007.
Right.
And we walked over to the Brothers in Arms, to Ubisoft, and we walked over, we wanted to see New Brothers in Arms, and Colonel Antal was there again. And he actually remembered us from the previous year, and we hung out for a bit. We stand around. We went into the Ubisoft booth. We actually sat down at a table, had coffee or whatever drinks that Ubisoft was giving out at the time, and just sat down and just chatted and talked about his experience in the military and things like that. But he remembered us from the previous year, and that is something that is really, really cool. Those are memories, and that's why Big Z, the Brothers in Arms games hold a very, very special place in my heart as far as where they sit in my tier of gaming.
Right.
Because of Colonel John Antal. So.
And that's pretty awesome. Again, that's pretty awesome that he remembered you, because you would think that, and of course, to have someone in the military involved with video games is a very odd thing, you would think, but to have him remember you after all that time can be, very sentimental in an essence, because the thing of it is you really don't have that kind of thing anymore with gaming. It's very, it just doesn't seem like, because I remember back in the day when, what was it, Medal of Honor was a big thing back then. It was just it was more Nintendo and all this stuff, but it was like 3 to 4 different games, I think it was. But it was like, and of course I didn't do very well in those games. I was not like, oh, I got shot from the back. It was not a good time.
So right, so there were at the time Medal of Honor was out. There was Call of Duty, there was Medal of Honor, there was, and this was all, by the way, before the advent of multiplayer, before Call of Duty became just nothing but a multiplayer thing where the campaigns were secondary to everything else.
Right.
These games had stories. These games had the multiplayer was an afterthought, and Call of Duty, like World at War, Call of Duty 1, they didn't have multiplayer. You played through a campaign, and that was it. Yeah. So you had Call of Duty, you had Medal of Honor, you had Battlefield, because games like Battlefield and Battlefield Bad Company, Brothers in Arms. There was and I think I've got it over there. There was a Vietnam game called started with an S. If I walked over there again, I could probably grab it. Those were, back then, everybody was competing for what was the most realistic game. Now, of course, the realistic games are Tarkov and Gray Zone Warfare, and the arcadey, shooty bang bang is Battlefield and Call of Duty. It's kind of a weird switch of how that's happened. There aren't. I'm looking forward to Black Ops 6 because I want to see what they do. Apparently, they're putting a lot into the campaign this time.
Right.
And I like that era. I'm 50 years old. I was born. I'm a child of the 80s. So the 80s and the early 90s. In that Desert Storm type style, or that Desert Storm time frame, that is where this game lies. The whole Saddam Hussein and things like that. Right. I was very engaged in that, in watching all that unfold. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. But I've also, it's also
Yeah. There's
it's okay. You know what? Sorry, Dan. I gotta see. Hold on. I gotta click on Dan here. Does Dan have a channel? Dan's got a channel.
yes, he does.
Okay, let me follow Dan's channel. The game casting chair.
Yeah.
That is a very interesting pose there, Dan.
Yeah,
I like it.
that. Yeah,
I like it.
yeah, and again, I'll be honest. It's like I'm not. After a period of time, I wasn't. I like I have 200 games in my Steam, and it's not. It's I have more of my epics. But the thing of it is, like after a certain point, gaming sort of became just that extra. Because again, I have a full time job, and then doing this, I rather would be. This is my thing. This, as an adult, you're not really told. You're told, but you don't really know where to go, where your life is meant to draw to, because you go to college, all this other stuff. And I was in that position, was like, oh, I can try here, I can try. It just was never. And then I came to this, and I was like, this is the thing. This is what I want to do, because there's so many people out there, different people, in fact, and we aren't really sitting down and just conversing with each other. We're just yelling, and social media is a proof point that just shows that it will amplify the worst of us, and not really get anything going. And that's what we have issues with. We're not really getting anything going. We're just sitting, talking about it, arguing about it, and then moving on to the next thing that we can stop, argue about, and then all this stuff. So it's just, again, I get why content creators and all these things do what they do, but at the end of the day, I'm doing this because I see the value in it, and it's been successful. For me, it's been successful because I didn't think I'd have what I have, and that's been the awe of it. I'm just in amazing wonder, where I'm still like dazed, shock. I'm in shock still. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. What's happening? I think it was in a car crash. What's going on? Just don't. What is going on in this chat? Don't you people better calm it down in there. Starting to get real simpery over somebody. No, I'm just joking. Cancel out. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Bill. I do try to cancel out the cancelers, so that makes me the uncanceler. No, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just here to enjoy this thing with other people, because our time is so. And the funny thing too, right, is with all this arguing stuff, people tend to forget you are dust mites on a blue marble circling around a golden sun in an infinite universe, and your worst thing in life is someone called you a dumb name, or called you stupid for some odd reason, and you're like, well, that's the worst thing ever. It's like, no, the worst thing ever is you keep living like this, and you've wasted all your life, and you die like that, right? You become that scrappy dog in the street, and you just die like that in the street, and I can't do that.
Well, so that is, I in my head.
Yeah.
I like lightning bugs and jars. Look, Cyber Mario is not wrong. When Cyber Mario showed up, the chat did take a weird turn.
Well, that's because he's Cyber Mario. He's like the cyber. He's like the cyber version.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But no, what you were trying to say?
When we were talking earlier about the drama people and the trolling online and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a difference between the people who do it for fun and they just messing around with you, but at the end of the day, they're hanging out with you. They're messing with you, but they like you, and you mess with them back, and now they're all friends. Now that's what they really wanted, so that you guys can, forge a friendship, right? The trolls.
Yeah.
I can't figure that out. Like I've never woken up one day and just said, I need to go to this person's channel and start making names like, John sucks ass and follow his channel with it. Or I think the one I got last night was Mike the self-hating Jew. And I'm like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's tame compared to what some other people are getting.
Yeah.
I've got friends on Rumble that I don't know how, like they just live so rent free. He lives so rent free in their heads. They just make hundreds of names of, and we're all saying, you guys know you're boosting our numbers, right? Like the other night, somebody was doing it to me, and I'm like, hey, could you make like 22 more? I got to get to 700 followers. And I'm like, if this is really the best you've got, man, you've got to come better than this. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I can't wrap my mind around how you can be in your own life so unhappy and so miserable in your own life. Like you have such a self-hatred inside that you're like, I need to go and mess with other people to make myself feel better. Let me go and mess with Mike's channel, and then I'll go, ha, 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 look what I did. How do you, but, and maybe it's just that for the end of the day, I can walk away from this. Rumble could very well be my last platform. Like I'm not going, and let me preface this by saying I don't begrudge anybody multi-streaming. Like we did it for a little while ourselves. When we came over here, all of my game streams were exclusive to Rumble, but for a time we were multi-streaming the NLG show because we still had an audience on Rumble and or on YouTube, and we didn't just want to tell them, it's come here or you don't get to see us anymore. Right. Now we got lucky, and about 70% of our YouTube audience realized that, well, I don't like YouTube either. Yeah. Came over to Rumble and found that not only did our streams look better, but they found a community that is better than what they had on YouTube, and they were finding more channels that were as good as ours, that were focused on gaming and positivity. I mean, when I say positivity, if there's news to talk about and we want to criticize or critique what Microsoft is doing, what Sony is doing, that kind of thing, that is different than using your platform to beat on other people or to bash individuals or to, just say, Sony sucks, Microsoft sucks, blah, 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 blah. Right. Which we don't do, but we also celebrate the good in gaming, right? And we do it as well by playing games and celebrating that with the community. Maybe I'm just not an angry person by nature to where, or at least maybe my life is a little more fulfilling than others. Like I've had people watch a family game stream that I've done with my 3 kids, sitting down, playing video games with my 3 kids on a video game system that isn't out yet, but having fun and enjoying ourselves. And there's people on YouTube that would take that and make a 4-hour stream about it to make fun of me and my kids. And I couldn't do that because the only reason that you do things like that is if you are unfulfilled in your own life. If you in your own life are unhappy here, right? Like the reason I say I can walk away from all this anytime I want. And I'm not trying, this is not a brag in any way, shape, or form. This is just the reality of who I am. I have upstairs a wonderful wife, 3 amazing boys, one of which is going into his 2nd year of college, was an Eagle Scout, National Honor Society. I've got a 14-year-old who is a Boy Scout. who just got an award at our synagogue for helping modernize and work our tech. And by the way, he's autistic on top of that, who's done content with me for years, because on my channel, I language is an issue on our channel. I'm not gonna lie. I can't say that I don't let loose a little bit because I don't do it in front of my kids, but my channel, and I keep saying mine, it's as much HDK's channel. It's adopting a Mexican artist. You are already the son I never had, Mario.
Now, Mario, please go clean the gutter.
Bandito. Is it Bandito? Are you my right?
And then you're like, okay, Mario, go clean the gutters. Go clean
Oh my gosh.
Por favor.
As long as you make tacos for me. So. Mario, you will be, however, would be extremely proud of the protein-packed cheesy chicken and rice burritos that I make for lunches. Dude, nice. You'll be happy. Anyway, I have a wonderful family upstairs. I have an amazing job. It's been stressful, but I have an amazing job. I am a leader in my synagogue. I'm a music director, a choir director. I teach. I am a musician. Nice. I own a band, and I play and sing in a 25-piece big band. And I have a trio and a 5-piece band that I originated and help run. That is successful, highly successful. I'm a scout leader. I'm the scout chaplain, and I'm a scout leader. I have all of these things going on in my life where I have an amazing circle of friends that aren't just friends online. They're people that like Peter, like Geekstorian, that I've broken bread with, we've been, Peter's been to my house a couple of times now. I know their kids, they know my kids, right? I have an amazing group of friends that if I stopped streaming tomorrow, would still be people that I call, that I talk to, that I game with, that I hang out with.
Right.
That is what my life is. So I don't have the mental state, the emotional state, the desire to be an asshole, to go and make content about other people, to go attack other people's kids, to say, well, you like the Atari VCS, or you like the Xbox, or you like the PlayStation, you're trash. I can't do that because I'm not miserable and my life is good. And I could step away from this tomorrow. I could shut down everything tomorrow. And I would still be happy. I would still be a happy person. And a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't do that. That's why I can never put my brain around why someone would go out of their way to go say, come to my channel and follow me as someone called Mike the Self-Hating Jew. I don't understand. Right. What was really funny was I was playing a game. I was so engrossed in the game. I didn't even notice it for like 25 minutes. And nobody in the chat, Galaxy or Back or any of you people, pointed it out to me. You guys let it go.
Oh, I can see one person who might not like you though. I mean, he's right there.
Turok is pretty good. So fun fact about the N64, Big Z. For the longest time growing up, I was a Sega fanatic. Still am an old school Sega guy, not this new, new Sega guy where all their IPs are in the trash.
Yeah.
I'm an old school Sega guy. Old school Sonic, Sega Genesis, Sega CD, 32X, Saturn, Dreamcast, and even beginnings of Xbox. Games like Full Auto, games like Condemned, Chrome Hounds on the 360. Like those were the golden days of Sega. And I wouldn't touch a Nintendo ever until the N64 came out. And the first time that I played an N64 and I played Mario 64, I went out and then I bought an N64 and I played that game to 100 stars, even getting the one on top of the castle. and then it was Wave Race, and then it was GoldenEye, and then it was Turok, and then it was WCW versus NWO, some of my favorite wrestling games of all time. That was my introduction to Nintendo, and then from then on, I have a GameCube, I have a Wii, and I go back and I play old NES and SNES games because some of that stuff's really, really good. The freaking 7-Up mascot. So I have Cool Spot, and then I actually have Spot Goes to Hollywood on the Saturn. So I have. Yep.
It's been a long time for stuff like the Sega Saturn and of course the Dreamcast. But yeah, before we go any further, so there's it's already past the time, but during the hour of every hour, or at the top of the hour of every hour, I set aside some time for us to promote ourselves. I did put whatever links I could find of yours in the description.
I'm sorry, I didn't. No, I meant to.
So I got your Twitter X and your Rumble in there.
Perfect. That's it.
But, yeah, that's all you need. That's all you need. But anyway, if you want to throw on the shiny coat and promote yourself, you're more than able to do so. And then I'll do mine after you're done. So whatever you're ready, good sir.
Right here.
Pay attention to
wait for it. Right here.
Okay, I asked what it seemed like a lot, but it really wasn't. I apologize.
No, honestly, Rumble is where we are. You can follow me on X at NLG Mullis. Our official Twitter is OG_NL Gaming, but really the Rumble channel is where you can connect with me the best. It's where people can come and By the way, on X, this is another thing. People often say, I don't do this follow for follow. If you're following me and I don't follow you back, it's nothing personal. It's not. I don't follow people to follow people. Like I don't follow people just to get their news or to just hone in on them because they're a celebrity. You'll find I typically don't follow celebrities on X. If I follow you and you don't follow me back, after a certain period of time, I'm going to unfollow you. I'm going to do that because, again, I'm not there to just read things.
Yeah.
I'm there to foster a community. If I'm on there and I'm following you and you follow me, we can talk. Yeah. We can converse.
Yeah.
Because if I'm following you and you're not following me, I can see everything you say and I can talk to you. Because you don't see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't get a chance to vote to see what console am I playing tonight on Retro, right? You don't get to see what, you don't get to give me your opinion on, hey, I'm playing this game. What do you guys think of it? And we don't get to start a conversation.
Right.
Even guys like Dan Bongino, even guys like who else is a big one? Dan Bongino follows me.
Wow.
And I'll talk to him from time to time because again, it's about conversation. I don't follow Dan Bongino just to because I don't. So okay, this comes from a long history of being a game journalist. I don't kiss anybody's ring. Right.
I've met.
Yeah. I've met I've met heads of game companies, right? Peter Moore, one of my favorites in the industry when he was in the industry. One of my favorites was the head of Sega, was third-party head of Microsoft, went to run a soccer team, and I think he works for Unity now. I've met him several times. I had dinner with Peter Moore.
Wow.
I don't treat him like a celebrity. Phil Spencer, if I met Phil Spencer at a show or something like that, I wouldn't treat him like a celebrity.
Right. Yeah.
I don't treat movie stars like celebrities either. I don't kiss their ring. Nobody comes up to me. I'm an IT guy by trade. My job is to keep people's businesses running through their infrastructure.
Yeah.
Nobody comes up and kisses my ring and says, "Man, it's a good thing you I love how you keep networks running so that I can make money." That's not right. So great. You're a great actor. Cool. I liked you in it. Like one of my favorite meetings was Lou Ferrigno. He was doing there was an Incredible Hulk game coming out.
Nice.
He was at E3 to help promote it. Came up to him, said hi, shook his hand. I didn't ask for a picture. I just talked to him. I talked to him like a human being.
Right.
And ended up having an actual real conversation with him.
That's awesome.
And because I don't do that. And so I don't do that on social media either. I don't kiss the ring. Right? I want if you're and most people that if that's what you want, cool. I have nothing against that.
Looks like you're being called
and
out.
You will again, sir. You will again.
But no, that's pretty. Again, that's what I want to do. I mean, yeah, I'd be someone you follow, like maybe whatever. But to treat him just as a regular person is a lot better than being this sort of starstruck, because then you stutter, you get in shock, whatever. But treat them like the person they are, and yeah. But anyway, for my
It was Galaxy. It was Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, which wasn't based on any of the movies. It was just a Incredible Hulk game.
But anyway,
right, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. So from my end, which is a two-parter, because I can't figure out how to do one-parter. But anyway, I streamed both. I'm still there. I streamed to both YouTube, Rumble and YouTube at Daramouthe. I also have a Discord at Daramouthe, but that's mostly just for DMing. I have an email. I have a Twitter X fan account, and I'll explain that later at Daramouthe. Look, guys, Mike Mullis, Jack Tarlad, so many other people, Geek Storian, who will be on later this week. So many other people. They don't have to be content creators, big or small. It doesn't matter. I've had Jen on, who wasn't a content creator at all, but she talked about stuff that was really important to her. I've had people like, there's so many. I've had Patty's Parlor Gaming. I've had Alaska Man Jeff. I've had Phoenix Electra. I've had Phoenix. I've had so many people, and within a 3-month period time. I'm not sure if anyone other content creator could say that, but for me, I'm pretty impressed. So, but anyway, if you guys want to be a part of that, right? If you guys want to come on and try that, find me at these places. And if you don't want to, leave a comment on YouTube or Rumble. Look, it's not that hard. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible to get to that connection. All my links are down in the link tree below. Guys, it's worth the risk. It is worth the risk. I'm glad I get to meet Mike Mullis. I'm glad I get to spend this time with him.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad I get to meet the people for the rest of this week. I'm good for the next month and the months after that. Because my thing is I'm going to try and see if I can't fill the rest of the months till the end of the year. Because again, I didn't think I'd start out this way, and I didn't think it'd be possible. But yeah, every time I get worried that I'm not gonna feel like I'm gonna be able to fill a spot, I find out I can fill a spot. How's that? And just like I worry over nothing, and this has been a wonderful time of just trying to do this with a whole lot of people. Again, big or small or not a creator at all, it does not matter. Come on, let's have a conversation. It's free. You just seen us go like almost an hour and 20 minutes talking about whatever we wanted. All right, that's how easy it is, right? That's how easy it is. But anyway, the second part of this is I know if you were YouTube, right? So you heard this mantra before: share, like, and subscribe. That's the mantra you hear all the time. Every content creator. I won't say that, but I will ask for help and engagement. Now, why am I asking for help and engagement? Well, one is because it helps bring other people on. It helps, you gotta get your stuff out there, all this other stuff, and it helps me in a sense become undeniable, because somebody right now could look at me and say it doesn't have the numbers and walk away, right? I can just be totally looked over. But with more help and engagement, with more help and being seen, it helps someone saying, I heard about this guy, maybe I'll give him a look, and all that stuff. A like, a follow, a comment, a share, all of them, one of them, it doesn't matter. Anything else, because I can still be overlooked, and there are so many other people to bring on, whether they're a creator or not at all. I know you hear it a lot from YouTube on that end, but at the end of the day, I kind of have to do it because it's the only way I can keep inviting more people on. Right now, I'm talking to a VTuber of having them come on here. I don't know if they will, but hey, it's worth a shot. I'm talking to just a whole amount of new people, old people come on, and it's just ridiculous. But it's the point of why I do this, because at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all going to go out the same. Well, some maybe more than others. People could fall off a building. There's a varied mix. All right. But the point of the matter is that we have this time now. We can have these conversations. We can do, like you just heard Mike Mullis talk about having a conversation with Lou Ferrigno or so many other people. The time is now. And I look forward to having all the different people on. And of course, again, like, follow, share, comment, all of them, one of them, doesn't matter. Anything helps. And I appreciate you all for being here.
Do all those things.
Yeah, all those. One of those things. Well, human.
No. For this guy, do all those things.
Yeah,
do all those things for Dara.
I get a little something. Luke, what is wrong with you? We're all human. Speak for yourself. What is this? What is?
Have you ever seen the? Wait, have you ever seen the TV show V?
No, I don't think I've heard of it.
What? Okay, hold on. All right, I have to ask this question.
Well, before you do ask that question, I have a question to ask of you. I just had it. Here you go. Cyber Mario has a question for you.
Now you are gonna mow my lawn. Now you're now.
Now you're gonna have to get in those weeds. Like, come on, get in there. You're not getting paid for this. I was like, when he said that too, I was like, Inspector Gadget. I was like, oh no.
Wait a minute, Inspector Gadget, but V you don't.
Well, there was the movie with Matthew Broderick and all of those people, like in like late 1990s. I didn't watch the cartoon series when it came out. I mean, the farthest I can go for a cartoon series is like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that was before I was ever born, so it was after the fact. So yeah.
And Galaxy, I'm with you. The original V and V the Final Battle, not the reboot.
Is V like Voltron, or is that completely different?
How old are you?
36.
Oh, you wouldn't have. No, 36. 50, 36. So you were born in late 80s?
Yes.
All right, that explains.
I will mow the lawn, Dad. You better. You better. You don't get away with that kind of comment and live. You have to work for it. Oh, that's too funny. But yeah, no, I've never.
He needs to watch some 80s stuff. You're an 80s baby. You need to go watch V. V was amazing. V was back when TV shows could have nice looking women with.
Oh yeah. No, you can just watch anime now for that one. But no, I've never.
Not Western anime.
Yeah, well, no, that's not the one I was talking about. But no, I've never heard of it. Well, I've heard like some like Crowder does like the flying V or whatever it is, but that was sort of like for Vivek. But I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
No.
But no, it's just this. But there's a lot of 80s stuff, like the He-Man stuff was coming back, and they kind of ruined that. and then they did the one for
yeah.
Voltron, and that was different. Now they're trying to do like a GI Joe, what was it, GI Joe Autobot or Transformers sort of thing. It was at the end of that movie, the Transformers movie. I can't remember, the Night's Watch or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't. Yeah.
Oh, the Mighty Ducks. I remember the Mighty Ducks. I remember seeing the first movie, but then they had
Mighty
a cartoon.
Ducks were 90s.
Yeah, but the Mighty Ducks, they also had a cartoon for the Mighty Ducks, so that was a bit different. But yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of it. So some things I've heard of, some things I haven't. Like I know Cabbage Patch was big back in the day, you know.
Yeah, original Voltron was better. Everything original was better. The original Transformers, the original Voltron, the original, all that stuff is better.
Right. And the gentleman I'm having on tomorrow, he would do Optimus. Oh, goodness.
I gotta see this. Hold on. I gotta see this. Oh my Lord! Somebody. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh man.
Hold on. Well, you know what's advertising?
When did they become associated with naked women? Kids,
Yeah,
don't look,
Sergeant
don't
Slaughter
look.
follows. Sergeant Slaughter follows a bunch of us.
Wow.
Sergeant Slaughter follows me as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, because I know some people like the old WWF, was it?
WWF, yes.
Because I will tell you this. I went to see the Iron Claw, the movie. It was about the Von Erichs, I think it was. I don't know where they were at per se, but man, that movie was rough. That movie in its own right was rough. Mike says, "Oh man, this is getting worse."
I'm legitimate. So this is funny. No, there's somebody set up a page, and all it does is just says, "Go check me out on Rumble," and points to my Rumble channel.
There you go.
I'm.
There you go.
There's no posts, no media. It's why? Why?
Ours is not the question. What was that saying? Ours is not to ask the question why or whatever that was, because sometimes you'll not get the answer you like. So, but yeah, I just take it with Jake. It is. It's promoting
it's advertising for sure.
Yeah, it's advertising. It's free advertising to you anyway.
But again, why would you do that? But make it nice.
You never know. You never know this stuff. Look, you got an answer. Look right there. Luke has an answer for you.
Ah, that's the placeholder for when I sell my fee picks. So,
oh my goodness! But
I did. Luke did miss it the one day. The one day that I actually took my shirt off on stream.
One day.
Ooh. So there was a guy who came in, and I mean, as you can, I work out. I'm in great shape, best shape of my life. That's better shape than I was in my 20s.
Right.
And I talk about that fitness journey a lot because I was, in 2018, I was 226 pounds. I looked like my face was like this. Yeah. You could see old videos of me, and you can see just this,
Yeah.
And there was when I became a scout leader, I would go on camping trips with Seth, my middle child. And one of those camping trips was a climbing trip where, they have a climbing tower at the camp. The kids would climb the tower. Some of the adults would climb the tower. Right. And I couldn't make it up Nothing is more embarrassing than getting like a quarter of the way up of a wall, completely running out of gas, and having to be like lowered down like Neo from the last Matrix. And you're just, while these kids and adults are like scaling the wall like freaking Spider-Man.
Right.
So I got home and I walked in the door. My wife said, how was camp? And I said, I've had enough. I'm done. Enough is enough. Yeah. And I started dieting and I started walking. I started changing my lifestyle. Yeah. And
Mario, you're gonna get yourself in trouble.
Mario, I did not see it. I did not need to see a nude. So I started, I changed my eating lifestyle. I started, cardio, things like that. And I started weightlifting, which I do to this day. And Seth and I, my middle child, we go 3 times a week to the gym. And actually I moved it to tomorrow so I could be on with you tonight.
So thank you. I appreciate it.
But we go 3 times a week, and I'm in, I'm stronger than I've ever been. I'm in great shape.
Yeah.
So somebody came into the chat and they were totally, new follower, having fun. Came in, man, this is the worst OnlyFans site ever, channel ever. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm not Review Tech rich. I only take my shirt off for $50. And next thing you know, some other person in the chat threw a $50 Rumble ran at me. And said, now what do you do? Uh-oh. And so it took me a minute, and I'm like, you guys got to be kidding me. But man of my word, shirt came off, and I streamed for a good 10 minutes like that.
There you go. Keep it to your word. But
at least how that picture's not up on this OnlyFans page, I don't know. That I'm gonna have to take care of this. Oh yeah, you need to send that to Dara. Send it.
Oh no, I'm gonna.
No, if I have to, if my eyes had to see this and bleed, your eyes have to see this and bleed.
After the show.
Send it.
No,
I did not Hulk Hogan the shirt because
come on.
I did not because I liked the shirt I was wearing at the time.
Well, that's sort of like you could pretend you're gonna do it and then you take it off and fold it and then you're good. you're just like all right, guys, gonna take it. Hold on. Yep, gonna fold it. There we go. All right, we're good.
Yeah.
I'll check it later.
I had to put it. No.
I'll check it later. I'll check. We gotta.
No. Now it's good.
Okay. I'm gonna regret this. Give me a second. I have to let it refresh. Well, put it back at Wi-Fi. There we go. Nope. Still nothing. All right.
Come on.
I'm getting there. It's taking a while. Okay. Yeah. All right. That was like the worst troll thing to ever do. It's like, I'm gonna send you something real bad. And then it's like, yeah, okay. You're such a
sorry, man.
Cat.
Mario, I tried to play it up, man. I tried to play it up.
I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna have to look at this again, and I look at it as like, the thing of it is though, he said he was gonna try to send your feet, and I was like, well, I'm not a feet person, but thank you anyway. And I'm just like, yeah, it's fun, but no, it's But yeah, a man of your word. Do 50, said $50. I'd have said, you know what? I've said, look, guys, I may have said 50, but I actually meant 100. All right, I meant 100. I need 50. I do not have anything of worth of value for that to happen, but you can at least see my collection in the background. Oh my
What are all the Post-it notes, by the way?
Okay, so so these red ones you see right here, that one, right? And that one over there.
Yeah. Yep.
Those are memberships. Those are people who've signed up for the monthly, sub-monthly on Rumble. Because I'm not monetized on YouTube. I'm barely at 100. So yeah, okay, Global Gamer. Yeah, sure. All right, yeah. Throw out the warning now and you're like, oh. But then the rest of the colors are people who've donated. It doesn't matter amount. They've just donated. They've just given a rant. So that's basically just there's a content creator I follow. Podcast side scrollers, and he when someone donates, gives, like, because he streams YouTube and so many others as well. But when he gets a rant, or when he gets a super chat, or gets a gifted subs, whatever, he puts a post note on the back wall, and then he just has this line of stuff. And so I just took that kind of idea and just kind of went with it, because it's short as, like, after, like, when I first started out, right? I remember who my first rant giver was, and that was Happy Mars, and I had him on the show, and that was like $2. And then over time it just builds up, and so over the course of my streams you get to see more and more post-it notes. Now obviously, some things change because some people stop being a member. That's fine, whatever, but it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it shows that of course my list of people who've been on too grows as well. But give me $100, I'll take my shirt off and talk to a chick. Oh man, but yeah, it's those post notes are just to show the support, because I know on the back end of Rumble you can find those and all the stuff. You miss something, but I couldn't do this for full time, because there's not a whole lot of even if you do the reading ads, there wouldn't be a whole lot coming in, and I always hesitate on those because I don't want people to feel like I'm using them for, like, oh, I need this many people to read. But it's just an option that is offered by Rumble Studios, so that more creators can come over. Because again, these YouTubers who look at YouTube Rumble and want to use it for all, but say, oh, it's not enough reads, oh, it's not enough money, oh, it's not enough this. And I'm like, guys, it's going to get there eventually. You got to get on the bus when it arrives, though. You can't just wait.
That's the thing. You're on the ground floor here, right? This is, and again, what are you doing this for? Are you doing this for money, or are you doing this for the love of what you're doing, for the love of, right? For the love of the content.
Yeah.
If you think for a minute that I make any money off of our Rumble channel, we really don't. We've got, and I want to say we've got some wonderful subscribers, and I, to this day, can't believe anybody gives us $5 a month for the things we do.
Right.
But it's not about that. And if tomorrow all of our subs went away, wouldn't faze me in the slightest, because, now everything that we get from an ad revenue, and every dime that comes from subscribers goes back into the channel. We're doing more giveaways. We are we're upgrading our equipment, getting the games to stream. So everything goes back into the channel, every penny of it. But it's for the love of what we do. Heard you were a millionaire. I wish I had heard that.
well, they always make those jokes that that Jewish people are good with money, so you never know. I mean, but those are the jokes they keep throwing out there. But yeah, I forget. I understand, because again, like I was telling you, there's a content creator who came over to Rumble for a while and then stopped doing it. But his answer was, someone asked him, like, would you come back to Rumble? His thing was, YouTube is where the bread gets buttered. And at that point, it stopped being about creating content for whatever the sake it was. It became about, I need the money well, because he has people he supports under him, he's produced whatever. But it's like it's more about the money than the content. Yeah, you can be transparent with it, like Galaxy Red said, but at the end of the day, when a content creator says YouTube is where the bread is buttered, tells me it's not about content anymore. It's about the money. And like I it's nice when you get those kind of things, right? It is scary. But it's nice when you get those things like the monthlies or whatever. Those are a bonus to this whole thing. The conversation is the main point. Everything else is a bonus. I mean, yes, I ask for the likes and comments and stuff because, again, in order to have more people on, that's the ordeal. Yes, supposedly the rumor is that they'll be coming back in July, though that remains to be seen. So I don't know. Hopefully, I hope a lot of creators start using Rumble Studios more, but as we were having difficulties earlier, there's always still more to work on. So it is what it is. Yeah, I can understand that, Bulldozer, but at the end of the day, it's silly. D-Day Cobra has said he would stream over here even if he wasn't making any money. So that's much better. Oh. Well, that's understandable. I'm just saying that one point, yes. Oh, that might happen. There you go.
Oh my Lord.
Oh man, people are like, oh yeah, no respect for him. I just wish he would use Rumble Studios instead of paying StreamYards or Restream for it. But he keeps saying he will, but he never does. Plus, he could make money off those Rumble ads. But for me, it's like, again, that's what I came. Those are two things that came up too. Was like, what are you going in for, and what are you expecting out of it? Because if you're going in for the money factor or fame factor, you might as well just walk out the door now. Because very rarely, and at all, especially on YouTube, will you even get that far. Like Matt Pat has left YouTube. He's gone. Other people have gone. Yeah. Well, Cyber Mario, I understand. They don't mow the lawn like you do, all right? So I understand. but still, it's just those things. Yeah. Some of these content creators have to take a jump that come from other platforms. Because again, like you said, we're on the ground floor. We're on the ground floor of this thing. We're the OGs at this point. And if you aren't willing to dip your toe in, I can't help you. I can't help you when you feel like, oh, they should be here. It's like, you don't understand. Rumble has to become its own thing. We can't copy and paste YouTube to Rumble because then it wouldn't make any sense. We're already starting to see the improvements. Like Rumble has raids. It's had raids for quite a while. We're getting this stuff with Rumble Studios. Still needs work, sure, but it's coming to that point. What other platform do you know has its own streaming portion? StreamYards relies on it being StreamYards. That's their only business. Same with Restream. That's their only business. You bring in Rumble Studios, that's their golden egg. That's part of their whole ecosystem, their whole synergy, right? Whether you agree with it or not, one of the great things Apple has done is that it has its ecosystem, has its synergy. It works well with all the other stuff. Yeah, you can argue about other inventions or whatever, but at the end of the day, Apple created this ecosystem that works well enough that from any of the Apple devices, you could just have a seamless transfer or transfer over. I said not transfer.
I got what you said.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like that's what Rumble Studios is doing. They're trying to build their own ecosystem. Does YouTube have it? Does Twitch have it? They have some niceties, sure, but their ecosystem is limited. You can't. I don't think you can use YouTube's thing in order to stream to other platforms. They wouldn't. That's Google. They wouldn't allow you to stream to other platforms, and all the other stuff. I think it's worth it. And Rumble functional to use the other night when I hopped in. Yeah, there you go. It's getting there. You're an IT person, right? So you've had to do at least some form of coding to some degree, right?
No, not necessarily. I'm on the hardware IT side.
Okay. Well,
however,
yeah.
Okay, so hold on though. I ran multiple bulletin board systems when I was younger, so that's not true. I've done some C++ and a little bit of Fortran coding.
But you understand that coding in itself, right? For whatever reason, whatever thing, you have to test, you have to do all this stuff, you send it out there, stuff breaks, you have to retest, you do put the patches in. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this stuff, and people want it now, right? They want it now in Rumble. Of course, the technology's been out there, but they have to do it in their own way, their own manner, because you don't want to just copy paste from one platform to the other, because then it's not Rumble anymore. It's that platform now.
Right.
And Rumble now is focusing on improving offline content. Now I know what direction you're headed. At first, I was confused. Yeah, I mean, I understand people want a lot of this and that, but it's going to take time to get there. Again, I now with you. Oh, see you later, Big Z. See you later, Big
All right,
Z.
Z.
There's censorship but yeah, it's a work in progress. It's going to be to look at the beginning of YouTube, right, which is like 2005, and then Google steps in and buys it around 2006, 2007. They have had about 7 to 8 years until Rumble started coming into the picture at all. So that's 7 to 8 years of reiterations, upgrading, all this stuff. Then you come to when Rumble comes in the picture, they're not really there yet. And it's not till like, what, 2021? Till they're like, because they get the influx of money and all that stuff. It's not to that point that they start building themselves up and start getting better and updating their stuff. And that's another 4 to 5 years after that. Google and / YouTube has had almost 16 to 17 years to improve upon the point where it's at, and thousands upon thousands of people working for it. And that's why it still remains king of the platforms, because it, again, Google resources, obviously, and all that, but also because of just all this other stuff. They combine shorts, they combine live streaming, they combine pre-recorded videos and all this stuff. And other platforms have to figure out how to do it. Some are just live streaming, Yeah, look at global gaming here. Coding is not easy as what they think it is. It takes time, testing, etc. If you release a bad build, then it can kill the developer's reputation. Exactly.
And he knows that more than anybody. I mean, he's built an incredible, him and Vapin have built an incredible bot, and he had to code that. And I've watched his some of his coding streams where he's doing testing and things, and that is good stuff.
Yeah. And so when you have people like that that can give you an example of the problems and the things of just doing all this stuff, you begin to realize, wow, so what Rumble is able to push out is incredible, because they're able to do it within such a record time. Of course, they got, Rick, for that thing, and Rumble Studios is its own separate area, but at the end of the day, they're still updating, they're still upgrading, they're still doing all this stuff to make this platform better for the creators. They just did an update over the weekend of the back end. You saw the back end look, right, where they kind of jazzed it up a bit or whatever. It's getting there, but I understand people's frustration, because they've come from a platform where all that stuff is available at a click of a button, and now they're coming to another platform where it's like, well, it's so clunky, it's so this, it's so that. And the funny thing is, when Rumble update comes out or whatever, and they're like, oh, your UI sucks and all this stuff, they really don't give anything more than that. Like, if you want something fixed, you have to give more of a definition, because we can't, coders and developers and all this stuff, they can't work from just wisp in the air. You have to give them detail. Like a fix, you kind of have to give them detail. When I was having issues with Rumble Studios, I was taking video of the stuff that was going on, because it cuts down on me trying to explain it. You either give an essay or you give a physical. I don't know if they still allow that, but still. So I can't really say. But if I have a contact at Rover2 and they get sent to the back end team there you go. See, that's there's a lot of people on Rumble who wants to see this place succeed, but it takes its time to get there. But yeah, so when you have good people like Global Gamer, Vapin Gamers, which I've had on, and I when I was making the thumbnail, I forgot to put the S in. So he hammered me on that. Was like, oh, so I see what that's like. I forgot. Okay, come on. Yeah, it's just one of those things. But I invest in Rumble because I see it's the possible future. And I know people complain, oh, the stocks are down or whatever. But look, when you're investing in something that could revolutionize, go beyond what YouTube is or Twitch, whatever, investing in it means you're going to take hits. And it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be ugly. But you don't invest in something knowing that, not knowing that, right? Because investing in like any company, starting out, whatever, there's going to be some tumbles along the way. But that the point of the matter is that their future potential is still there. Now, if you see signs of them declining enough that you might want to pull out, sure, money, do what you will. But the issue of it is that you invest in the platform because you believe in its possible future. Is it going to be a while? Take some time. Is it going to be a while? Yes. Unfortunately, they don't have thousands of people working for them. I think it's only like a couple hundred. At least it's what I kept hearing. And then Galaxy says, I think those people haven't touched the platform for years. They were complaining about the UI back then, and they don't know that they've. Yeah, exactly. They did. Yeah, that's one of the points. And some people like, oh, I'll give it a check. And some people will still complain about the UI and not give a reason of, okay, so what's bad about the UI? And Rick has to ask, like, okay, I'm listening. What's so bad about it? And they don't give any answer to it. It's just like, you guys, you got to give some help. You got to give at least some constructive criticism. Like, okay, this thing in the UI is bad or this bad. Like, I get it. It's not everything in the Rumble UI is great, but guess what? It's getting better over a period of time. Creators on this platform are not what's the word? I had the word investing. They're not investing in Rumble because it's got to be this now. It's got to be that now. No, they're investing because they see the potential of its future. Because of the less censorship, the censorship stuff or whatever. The ability to be day one monetization. There's a whole different field of things you can what's the term? Different amount of things that interest people and want to come here. The Rumble ads, the Rumble Read ads, that will attract people. Rumble Studios will attract people because of it getting better and better. There are so many different things happening that they are trying to attract more people here. And there are a lot of content creators who are doing their best, some multi-stream or whatever, and they promote the platform that way. Or they talk to people like, hey, have you tried this? Like, I've seen Lumpy out there, Lumpy Potato, which I've had on too. He's out there. He's like, have you tried Rumble? Have you tried this? And I'll say this. Look, guys, I get you try to hammer just Rumble only platform, but don't try to be this thing where you're just trying to like hammer only Rumble. Like content creators should be able to choose their platforms at choice, but say, hey, there's this platform I know it's doing pretty well. They're updating their stuff. It's getting there. All that.
Well, and Rumble's got to get, and they're trying. Yes. So to be fair, they're trying, but they've got a stigma they've got to fight. And that stigma is that it's right, that it's a, quote, right-wing, alt-right platform, blah, 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 blah. It's not true. Anybody who has an opinion, left, right, or center can be on Rumble.
Yeah.
You can say what you want on Rumble. Trust me, there are dyed-in-the-wool anti-Semites on Rumble, and they have every right to be there. They have every right to spew their hate. That's the beauty of Rumble. That there's and that's something that YouTube will never be again.
It can't be because of Google.
It can't.
Yeah.
Right. So
and I always find it funny. It's like, oh, it's YouTube. No. It's Google. YouTube is just the covering it wears. Because what? Google's the most number one search engine, and what's the one after that? Oh, that's right. That's YouTube. So it's not YouTube. It's Google with YouTube clothing. That's what that is. but it's just, you know, I will. I've always said this. I will praise Rumble when it does well, and I will admonish Rumble when it does poorly. Because again, like you said, you're not going to treat them like, you know, with favoritism or whatever. You're not going to treat them all this stuff. You're going to treat them as they are, and Rumble's not beyond that point. Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, they do have an issue still with the political stuff, and again, they are working on their recommendation engine. It's still getting up there. Who knows how long, but it's a process. It's not a right now sort of situation.
Right.
Well, okay, Alphabet, but it's still Google, right? It's still Google. You can say Alphabet all you want, but it's still Google. Google's always been there. Google has been there from the beginning of time. And in the past, it was just rocks and trees, and now it is technology. Yeah, that's true. It can't get better if they don't know where they mess up. Yeah, and I think people kind of forget, just share the, you know, my biggest criticism still is that they, you know, their content creator payout needs to get better, but it seems like they're going to start
They need to do a better job. They need
Yeah.
to do a better job. I always discriminate on part of her. They need to do a better job with edited.
Yeah.
They need to do a better job with uploaded content. Uploaded content is still a very big,
pre-recorded content.
That's a very big hole in their, like, in their search algorithm.
Yeah, that's that again. That's where the continual progress, because I think Rick said it was going to be recommendation engine and then personalization engine, and you're already seeing bits and pieces of it. You know, when your stream ends, right, you get those recommended factors. I've had some of my old streams recommended in some of my stuff when I'm looking at it, but at the end of the day, it's going to take time. And of course, in the beginning when I was first here, that was the big issue, is the algorithm stuff. But now here they are. They're getting into it. They're working on it. They're trying to fine tune the numbers and all this stuff. And I don't know. And the thing of it, my worry is that people will try to find, like, okay, so what is going to count in the algorithm stuff, and try to use that to exploit it. And I'm just like, but why are you creating content though? If you're trying to exploit the algorithm, then you're not creating content. You're just doing what you were doing on YouTube or whatever YouTube is if you weren't on there. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Look, yeah, Bill Dozer says, I'm seeing great working stuff though, and fishing towels. That's great. That means that their recommendation engine is working a bit, not fully, but it is getting there. And that's the point. We want it to get there. We want it to get there. That's so successful that stuff like, I know people want shorts, right? But all they really need is to have a category and the algorithm part, and that's it. That's really all they need,
right?
Because I don't see why you would need any more than that. I mean, I put shorts on both ends, and I'll tell you, I think there are times where YouTube shadow bans shorts. I don't know why.
They probably do. They probably do.
Because I'll tell you what, I can tell the difference between the shorts on Rumble and YouTube, and more than that, there'll be one that I'll get like one view on the short. Go to Rumble, oh, it's like 30 to 40 different views. I'm like, oh, what? Why is this getting more over here than there? And it's so, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's just hey Rance.
Hey, look, Rance.
There he is. There's the man.
Right when I was getting ready to go over and stream some retro, he comes here.
Yeah, there he is. Rance is awesome, dude.
Brother Rance.
And he was on Mod Mondays with Pudge and them. So
Rance is awesome. But Rance and Sweet Sunshine, they're awesome.
Hey, Sweet Sunshine.
And they're sweet.
Yeah, they're sweets. Hey, sweets. Nice to see you again. But yeah, I've had him on at least once. I have to try to find a time to bring him back on again. But yeah, it's just Rumble is going to get there. It's not going to be there today or tomorrow, but it's going to get there eventually. And I'm not investing on it to be done now. I'm investing in it as a continual progress towards the future of what it wants to be. Will there be hiccups along the way? Will there be troubles? Yes. But guess what? You can help. Hey, Fatal.
Hey, Fatal.
But yeah, I think that at the end of it all, I'll continue doing this stuff. I'll continue creating the content and having people on and all that jazz. And of course, you'll keep doing your gaming stuff, which because you find that to be of value of why you create your content.
I do.
And
Absolutely.
hey, Yankee Free, I'm gonna have this gentleman on next week, so he'll be fun.
Very nice.
He was a recipient of the Pay It Forward stream, so and it's been fun to drop it on them once in a while. Here's UB. In the beginning of the year, Rumble looked top heavy and unstoppable. I think quarter and they will find their footing. Yeah, every day is a chance to be different. Every week is a chance for a new opportunity. Like Lumpy says, every year is an opportunity to happen. So they are on the next level. Yeah. So, but it's all about patience, and I know a lot of people, especially if they've come from YouTube or using this along with YouTube and others, that just sometimes they forget to have that, and they want it to be perfect like the other platforms. And it's funny because YouTube just added that whole AI summary thing on their stuff for streaming, and it's like, holy crap! Jeez, it's gonna be insane. But anyway, I think we'll get to ending here because I know Mike wants to get to gaming, but it's also I've got to get going to bed soon. I gotta work in the morning, guys.
No worries.
But I do appreciate chat for coming here, especially the raid from Rant. And I appreciate you, Mike Mullis, for taking the opportunity.
I appreciate you having me on.
I'm not that big, but one day I will look back and say that Mike Mullis guy, he's back on again for some reason. What are you doing, Mike?
Look, you are you're a great guy. I've watched a few of these. Of course, I watched Luke's, and I think what you're doing is a service to Rumble, right? I think what you bring here, just to have conversations with people, is it's what we've done for a long time, and
oh look, you're getting a hello. Shalom, Mike.
Hey, what's up, Rad? Shalom, my brother. He knows what that means too.
Yeah, I know what Lahaya means too. Of course, that's just stuff you hear in the movies.
What does it mean?
You know what? Next question. No, I don't know. You just repeat the stuff you hear, like Hava Nagila, that kind of stuff. But I do have family members who are Orthodox, so I don't read upon the stuff, but I do have family members that are Orthodox Jewish, so and they take it seriously as well. But yeah, no, I you're always welcome to come back. Like I've told to everyone else who comes on. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's just a matter of time and stuff. Good evening, Sully. Hey, Sully. But yeah, and then everyone's gonna do like get the chair and raise you up and start dancing around and just start singing the song. Get the chairs, everyone. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Of course, it is the top of the hour again, so we'll do our thing. And then I have a special thing before we leave. It's towards the end of it all, and then we'll end it with the pogo. Because like you were talking about the Sword in the Stone, Pogo has done a bunch of different other Disney movies as well, but there's been more sample. He's done like Toy Story, Up, and all these other ones. And if you guys really want to check his stuff out on YouTube, it's POGO. All his stuff is there. I kind of download it and put it on studios, but he doesn't copyright. I do get hit with a content ID claim, but I'm not monetized and I'm not getting hit with copyright strikes. So he has said he doesn't copyright people for using his stuff as long as it's not malicious. So there's that. But yeah, his stuff is great to listen to. He's done a bunch of other little things here and there. So we'll play the ending at one. But anyway, go ahead, Mike, and just show off your shirt. Just don't say a word. Just show off your shirt. Just do like this, like you're about to like you're about to tear up. It's right here, guys. It's right here. Look at him. Look at him. Come on. Bravo. That was good.
That was weird. That was the weirdest thing I think I've done in a long time.
But no, you promoted yourself that way. Like, look at his muscles. Next level gaming to the extreme.
Extreme.
Well, you know how the wrestlers do it. They kind of show off a bit there and here. So you gotta do like a little WWE sort of thing, or WWF, whatever it is.
He did. Yeah.
So one or the other. At this point, I don't even know what they are anymore. All right. but anyway, so and his stuff is down the link below, guys. So if you want to check his stuff out, if he's worth your follow and all that stuff, give him a go. But check him out. Check out the games. You're gonna play Xbox tonight, right?
OG Xbox.
OG Xbox. That's right.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna go full. I might have to start with some Outrun 2002.
Yeah, 2002. Oh, that's old. I'm feeling old already. You're saying it. So, but anyway, I stream to both YouTube and Rumble. Of course, I use Rumble Studios. I also have a at Daramouthe. I also have a Discord at Daramouthe. I have a fan account, which I forgot to explain. I have a fan account at TwitterX at Daramouthe. I also have an email. All that stuff is linked to below. Look, guys, if you want the same opportunity to come on here, and I give this to just about anyone, not any of the troll people like we talked about earlier, none of the debates or arguments, whatever. This is the place to come to sit down and just have a conversation about whatever. And you just saw 2 hours of it. Because Mike is awesome like that. I was just sitting back.
Apparently, I have an OnlyFans.
Yes,
I wasn't aware of that.
He has an OnlyFans too. He has OnlyFans too. So try and look for that. Maybe you can get a few subs to that. But anyway, guys, if you want to come on, look. And the link tree below, whether you go to the link tree or you just leave a comment on YouTube or Rumble, it is not that hard. It's not that difficult. I am trying to fill up July. It's not there yet, but I'm almost there. I have a week or two so to go. It's not easy because you're dealing with people's schedule and all that stuff, but I'm willing to deal with it because, again, I see value in it. I see that there was something missing from both ends. And this is what I want to do. Now, of course, Yankee Free is going to yell at me, but I'm like, okay, Yankee Free, you're going to be on next week. Do it then. But anyway, guys, thank you for that. And I hope to at least see you through one of the ports. But again, there's also the secondary factor to this, right? I know. Mike Mullis was a YouTuber before, so he knows this. You'll hear a lot of content creators say, share, like, and subscribe. Now, it's catchy. Don't get me wrong. But when you hear it 1,000 times over, you're kind of like, oh, I'm tired of this. So my deal is, and the reason I'm giving you is, in order to have more people on, like Mike Mullis and like so many others, I have to get noticed, right? That's the whole deal. And to get noticed is you have to do the engagement factor. Look, I am not the most popular guy in the world, all right? So it's going to be a difficulty, but I do want to be able to bring people on and share this moment in time with them. Same with my pay it forward streams as well. But it takes a little engagement to help. So a like, a share, a follow, a comment, all of them, one of them, it doesn't matter. Anything helps because, again, people can look at me and just walk on by and say, he doesn't have the numbers. He's not that important. They can do that, right? But I want to put myself in a position where I'm at least undeniable enough where they can say, I've heard about this guy. I'm willing to give him a second look because, again, it's all part of that ordeal. I don't like it, but I know if I want to have more people on, if I want to have more reach, I have to do the thing that gets annoying. So I apologize. But anything you can do helps, whether it's one of it or all of it. It does not matter. Anything you do is helpful, and I appreciate you all. So I better check the Global Gamer. I still can't believe that. And yes, Galaxy Red, he has done some Disney stuff. So again, all of Pogo stuff is on YouTube at POGO. And it's bunny ears. You'll see a bunch of bunny ears. And we'll play another one at the end. But anyway, so at the end of every episode, so there's a thing I created. It's a combination of a few things. One was, if you've ever seen the James Lipton, the actor studio, at the end of every person he had on, he'd act in this same array of questions he'd ask the other person whenever they're on. And I also, the show I like to watch still to this day is Whose Line Is It Anyway? Not the UK version.
Oh,
It's the
see, I used to like the UK version.
I never saw. I just saw the one with Drew Carey. So the US version with Drew Carey, that was the one I watched. And sort of they had a game called Scenes from a Hat. So I kind of combined the two. It was questions, all stuff, and I combined the two, and I made questions from a hat. So I bought a Rumble hat, and I did all this stuff. So there's not a whole lot of questions in here. I've got to rewrite some over time. But anyway, so what's going to happen is Mike here will get 2 freebies. If you want another question pulled out, it's ranting time. That's how it's going to go. Even $1 works. All right, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm not looking. What's the question going to be? Hopefully it's appropriate enough because. All right, what's this one? I gotta open it up. All right, we're going to disappear that one. That's a little more. That's more not slight. It's slightly non-friendly. All right, it's not like NSFW, but it could be. I'm just saying. I'm just being hospital. Do you want me to get you on that one?
Because I want to. You have piqued my curiosity, sir.
Okay. So this.
Am I going to have to? Am I?
No, I remember what it's asking. So this is a question from one of the things that James Lipton asked, because I had to go and try to find it right where he asked these questions, and a few of them are in there. So the question was, this is slightly more innuendous, but it's what turns you off?
What turns me off?
Yes, that's the question. That's one of the questions, because the one question previous before that would be what turns you on, and then you ask what turns you off. But the question that was that I pulled out was what turns you off. It's up to you if you want to answer that. We can pass. It's up to you.
Hubris.
Hubris? I don't know what hubris is, but I like your jig. My education is on the low level.
Okay, hubris is an excessive amount of pride or self-confidence.
Oh, right? Okay, I get it now.
Not to a so there's being self-confident and there's being right. There is to a dangerous level. Yeah, you know what? To an arrogant level.
Arrogance. Yeah, that's pretty good too. So, yeah. Oh well, we got that one, and that's why there's the other one that
not an NSFW.
I know, but you know some people, right? They're just gonna be like, plus you're a family man.
They would have answered feet. No, right, I got you.
You're a family man too, so it's trying to be considered. All right, not looking. Let's see. Okay, I don't know if I pulled this. All right, so hubris equals prod month. Pride is a prod month or pride month? Because I'm a little confused. Because pride
might have been. He might have mistyped that.
Oh yeah, he did. I was like, if it's prod, then this could be a whole different other story. Jeez. Ooh. All right, I get the other one. Okay, Oh, here we go. Here's one. So here's one. It is, what does freedom of speech mean to you? And it's right. It's crumbly, but it's right there. So what does freedom of speech mean to you?
It means the freedom to express your opinion without the fear of government recriminalization.
Right.
So freedom of speech to me, and you got to be careful because freedom of speech does not. I stand on freedom of speech, but I also stand on freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequence.
Right. So, yeah. That should be given because
it's not a given though. It's not a given. There are people that if you bear the consequences of your speech, they think that is wrong.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, you got to be very careful with that. Freedom of speech means that you are free to espouse your opinions, your thoughts, without the fear of recrimination. So I should be able to, on my Rumble channel, talk about whatever I want without Rumble shutting me down.
Right.
right?
Yes.
I should be able to give my opinion in public without being arrested for it,
Right.
for example.
Yeah.
That is freedom of speech to me. Freedom of speech does not mean that if you come to my channel and start espousing anti-Semitic views, then I'm not going to block you, because freedom of speech does not free you of freedom of consequence. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean I should be able to. I may not want to hear what you have to say, but I can't silence you from saying it. I can't physically silence you from being an asshole, right? I can.
Yeah.
Right.
So no,
no, and that's true. So freedom of speech means you can say what you want unless you actually incite a crime.
Yeah.
That is the essence of freedom of speech. However, freedom of speech does not mean that you cannot get, say, fired from your job for it.
Right.
That you cannot, again, you cannot just come into, you can't walk into my house and start spouting, insults at my wife or my kids and expect me to just stand there and go, well, honey, he's got the freedom of speech to come in and tell you this.
Right.
No, you have freedom of my beating your ass for it, but I cannot kill you. I cannot arrest you. I cannot, that's the right.
Because I had Patty's parlor game on a second time, and I was kind of trying to discern, because when we say freedom of speech, people bring up the First Amendment, right? But when
Correct.
but without that regard of the amendment, when you hear the word or the sentence freedom of speech, what does that entail? And to what I boil it down to, basically, at least through all the conversation, whatever, is that you cannot be compelled to say or not say something, because that is not freedom of speech.
Correct.
It's not outstating that there aren't consequences. Life is full of consequences. That's cause and effect. But the point of it is, though, when we say freedom of speech, it means you can speak freely without being told or not told that you can't say this. Because again, there are some things like you can say inciting violence or whatever, but at the end of the day, or people bring up, what is it, saying fire in a crowded theater, whatever. At the end of the day, those are the reactions to are consequences, right? Because those are just reactions to. The point of the matter is that you can say fire, but you are not away from the reprimanding of when you say that fire in the theater. That's the consequence.
And what happens as a consequence of you saying it?
Yes.
If you if you put other lives, it's why you cannot yell or joke about having a bomb in an airport. You are potentially putting other people in danger.
Right.
Me saying I don't agree with your opinion does not put you in danger. I'll give you something on the extreme. Me saying you're not, you can put a dress on, but you're still a boy, does not put that person in danger. If I say I'm going to kill you, for that is putting someone in danger. There is a difference. Yelling fire in a crowded theater in and of itself is not the part that gets the consequence. You cannot be arrested for that. You can be arrested however, you can suffer the civil consequences of being sued for anybody who was hurt, getting trampled, running out of the theater because you said fire.
Yeah. It's the consequential factor rather than you could do the whole legal stuff, but at the end of the day, once the word is out there, right, you can't take it back. It's more the consequential factor after the fact, right? Like, people getting hurt, trampling over themselves to get out, and all that other stuff. That's the consequential factor. And I think you see a lot of people argue this or that, but at the end of the day, at the basis form of what I, from my point of view, what is considered freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is basically, from my point of view, is you cannot be compelled or not compelled to say something or anything at all. That's the whole point of what freedom of speech is. You can, you can put laws here and there, like there's some states have done hate laws, but that's not freedom of speech anymore. That is limited speech, right? The reason I was, before we go, the reason I call it a fan account is because I had a previous account that was suspended on Twitter X. I call it Twitter X for whatever. And I tried to go through the process. I tried to submit an appeal or whatever. I'm at my 11th or 12th appeal, and I'm still getting the same answer. Twitter reserves the right. No answer why I was suspended. No answer this or that. There is no answer. I got no answer. So that's why I call it a fan account, because Twitter X still suspends people for no apparent reason. So it's not a free speech platform. It's just a somewhat less restrictive speech platform, because you can't, you have people calling, the bundle of sticks all the time, but there are still some people who say something that's totally, completely innocuous, and they get timed out or they get suspended. And you're like, why? What is this? And all that stuff. So, Dan is giving you a follow. So
yeah, I saw. I followed him back, and I'll try to.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So hopefully they'll be
to help him.
Yeah, because I know that he's been having issues. So, but anyway, guys, thank you again all for being here, and thank you for playing this silly game at the end, Mike. That was pretty nice. But anyway, that's right. Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow I've still got to set up for tomorrow's stream too, so it's gonna be fun. Tomorrow, this person I have followed for a time on their stuff, because they're mostly YouTube, but they are streaming to Rumble and other platforms. His name is Thomas Connors, or Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge. I've been following Midnight's Edge for quite some time, and it took a while. It was a time of patience, but I was able to finally get a date and stuff down. So tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, I will have someone I've been wanting to have on for quite a long time. His name is Tom Connor. So I hope you guys will be able to join for that. I know maybe some from Midnight's Edge may join. I don't know. But I hope you will join 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And I'll make sure all that stuff is posted tonight, because I don't want to wait till tomorrow. So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much. Mike Mullis, thank you much. You are welcome.
Always thank you.
Back. You're welcome
thank
back.
You. This was great.
And don't, if someone asks you if you have a helicopter underneath that cap, Yamaka, you just tell them, no, I'm not Inspector Gadget. No. Yes, and he does the Optimus voice. He does the Optimus Prime voice. So that's another reason to have him on. But anyway, so every at the end of my show, I play it with a pogo song, and it's called "And Don't Forget to Meet Yourself," because it'll mix in. But so it's called.
You don't want me to narrate your video?
No, it's a music video. You're not gonna be able to narrate that. Plus, it's kind of rude to other people.
Little faith.
that mustard seed's getting a little small. But anyway, guys, this is One Day with You by Pogo. Have a great night, and see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern with Tom Connors. Bye, everyone.
Bye, gamers.